Hey. So, I don't know, I'm just on a live kick. I wanted to come on here and talk about like fragrances that I've been wearing lately that has garnered a decent amount of attention to a lot of attention. So, it's hot. Okay? Where I'm living, we're about to be in the 90s, which is kind of insane. So the heat is heating, and lately I've just been really about making sure that my garden is gardening. That my fingers are coated in dirt and all of that good stuff. But I'm still going outside. I'm still hanging out with friends. I'm still doing things. I obviously still have my babies, my children, and we go do things. We stay home. We do regular things. All of that to say that even with the heat, I still have to roll outside. Even with the heat, I still need to smell good. You know what I mean? Like, let the church say amen. I'm just saying, like, smelling good, even though it is warm out. Like, there's nothing wrong with citrus fragrances. There's nothing wrong with freshies. There's nothing wrong with primarily like woody type fragrances. There's nothing wrong with those scents, and I will have videos where I discuss those type of fragrances. But this video, these ones that seem to be getting more attention from me personally are honestly some of my sweeter, brighter, or they all, I want to say they're all well, most of them are even like more on the fruity side. And when I get compliments, oftentimes it is from people that I do know, right? So if you know people, if people know you have a particular hobby, if they see you or smell you or hear you and you're something pertaining to that hobby, they're more likely to say something, right? That's just the reality of the situation. But also, I go oftentimes I'm in spaces that I repeatedly have appearances in, meaning that I go to the same spots, right? I go to similar spots, and so at some point someone's gonna comment just because the comfortableness of it, right? Being like, hey, okay, I've seen her enough times, so I'm gonna come and be like, you smell good. You know what I mean? So anyway, I talked, it's way too long. Let's get into the first fragrance. So the first fragrance is the most different to me of the other ones that I'm going to be talking about, but it still garners its compliments. So this is Unleashed, the brand. Unleashed, I guess it's like a small uh dupe house. This is the first one I have of this. Hey, I'm feeling pretty good. How are you? So this is a like they're dupe of a Trap Revs. I'm talking about Perfumes, and these are like the ones I've been getting a lot of compliments on lately. They're attention grabbing, spark conversations, and they work even in like the warmer weather. So this is like their dupe for a Trap Revs. If you know anything about a Trap Revs, it is highly expensive, and I think this 30 ml was 30 or 40 bucks, which is significantly cheaper than the original. This smells so good. So this is more of like a rose based, like it's a very strong rose fragrance, right? But there's something razzle dazzle in this, and this video isn't to talk about like notes. It's not to break down the note structure of the fragrance. I do have plenty of videos where I break down multitudes of different fragrances. This is just to tell you the overall vibe and the most potent smell you're going to smell. And with this one, it's definitely like a rose fragrance. There's something about this, it doesn't smell like, but it gives the same energy of this, which is Carnal Gray, which is their dupe for Gris Charnel. So it doesn't smell like this, it just gives similar energy. So there's something almost like upscale and neutral about it. Like, I don't know how else to explain it. It's nothing sharp, it's nothing bright, it's nothing super sweet. It's really I want to say like grown woman type of scent. Obviously you can wear what you want, doesn't matter the gender. I'm just giving you like a general idea, but this smells so good. And if you don't want a super sweet fragrance, or really sweet fragrance at all, but you want something like that, you're not as scared that the bees, you know what I mean, is gonna like attack you, this one, I mean, I guess it smells like florally, but I never had a problem with bees and this fragrance. So that is a Trop Revs. The next one, let's talk about another dupe. This is actually, most of them are dupes now that I'm looking. This is from Juliana Parfums. Juliana Parfums is another dupe house. And this is a dupe from, Center of Attention is a dupe of, oh my gosh, I'm gonna lose it now. It was just on my mind. Center of Attention is a dupe for something. Oh boy, hold on. I have to look it up because I think that this is a really good dupe. I've smelled the original and the original is very nice. However, it is quite expensive. Let's see. It's definitely a dupe of a niche fragrance. And in case you didn't know, Juliana Parfums now has a membership program. It's $10 for the year. And you get, I think it's 30% off of every purchase. So I think you might want to hop on that. They do, okay, so the shipping takes a little bit, but it does ship out. The juice is some of the best juice. I think they're getting better about restocking because they had like a whole U-Haul of their brand, and there's two different sizes. You have this 40 ml and then you have a 10 ml. So I think that's really good for sure. Let's see. Center of Attention. I cannot believe I'm forgetting what the name of it is. The dupe for. Here it is. It is a dupe for, oh, La Capitale. That's what it's a dupe for. So I like La Capitale. My problem with La Capitale is that the price is kind of high. However, and I like the fragrance, but it's one of those scents that if I'm gonna buy a niche fragrance, I want to smell something like, does that make sense? Like, I know that there's niche fragrances that are like everyday scents. For me, that doesn't really per se make sense because every spray is like $2. So like, I don't want that to be a thing. If I'm gonna wear a niche, I want it to be something really amazing. Maybe I'll just wear it on special occasions. I made the mistake of doing that once where I found a niche fragrance and I was like, oh my gosh, this smells really good. I can wear this on like the spring, summertime, all the time. And it's, guys, it's really not worth the sprays to wear it that often for me personally. If you like it, I love it for you, but this is a great dupe of La Capitale. Center of Attention. This is a fruity, musky, like musky, but like a clean musk, like a, don't be scared. And there's something that is very luxe and bougie and sweet and wonderful about it, if that makes any sense. And I would say, like, I actually want to show you this is actually a newer fragrance in my collection, and this is the dent I already have in here. It does last a long time. I've had people compliment me on this recently, and then when they compliment me, I do ask what it is, like, oh, so thank you so much. Just out of curiosity, what are you smelling? Most of the time, it doesn't really garner any serious response because it's hard, right? If you don't sit there and smell fragrances often and, you know, try to depict notes, you're just gonna be like, oh, it smells good. But people, for the most part, are like, oh, it just smells fruity and sweet. that's what I get, but I do get like a musky undertone to this, and it works really, really well with my skin chemistry. So that is center of attention. I'm gonna do the last dupe here. This is Berlinetta. So someone recently actually talked about my video, and I just saw it, and it was a great video. And they mentioned that I had introduced them to Berlinetta, which was freaking cool. Like, that's awesome. I feel like I'm so late to a lot of things when it comes to fragrances, because sometimes I do get things quite quickly, but oftentimes I don't, and I have to sit on things and wait, and you know what I mean, look for it on discount online, you know, can I get a sample? So it was cool to hear that like I introduced this fragrance to her. It doesn't seem like her favorite fragrance, but I think the scent profile as a whole just wasn't her favorite. She didn't like the original. This is a really good dupe to Bibliotech. The thing about a lot of these dupes, I feel like, that I've come across, they get quite close to the dry down of the fragrance, right? So if you like a dupe, right, or you like an original, I should say, an original fragrance, but perhaps the price is crazy, and or the opening threw you off a little, right? So a dupe I really like smells like the dry down of a fragrance, right? So this smells like more of the dry down of Bibliotech, which is this is actually my scent of the day. It is like this dark fruit, leather, powdery, slightly musky smell. It is so good. There is something definitely super like you crushed dark fruits on leather and then let it like air dry out in the sun. It's really good. Now, I can see you got to test everything out. You know what I mean? Like, I mean, this is super affordable, but if you can get a sample, get a sample, because when it comes to musk and leather and dark fruits, like those all seem to be kind of dangerous when it comes to scent, only because leather is definitely a scent that a lot of women attribute to like masculine, if that makes any sense. I don't mind wearing unisex fragrances or even masculine leaning fragrances, especially because I love to layer, but that stuff doesn't really ever bother me. Dark fruits can go very medicinal on a lot of people, and I've had fragrances myself where I'm like, oh wow, this smells mighty medicinal. This smells like cough syrup, or this smells, you know what I mean? Like, it just doesn't smell like a scent I want on me. But this, I like this. This is my scent of the day, and I'm going to be actually reapplying this because I have to hop off in like 5 minutes. But it is this dark fruits, leather, smooth, powder. The powderiness isn't really that obnoxious. I feel like on Bibliotech might have been more powdery. It's now been a hot minute since I've last smelled Bibliotech, so yeah, I have to re-smell it, but I feel like it's quite close, like quite close. And I have been wearing this, and I always feel like the bottles that have like shapes like this always take a hot minute to start showing dents. Like, this is just started, well, I guess never mind. This is actually an okay dent right here, but like, just holding the bottle regular, it barely looks like I've used this, and I've used this. Like, insanity. But this is also 100 ml. This is the only 100 ml bottle I'm going to talk about today. So it's real. I feel like I got this for I think this was under $35, like, for 100 ml. I'm just saying. And if you ever felt like something goes off a little bit on your skin, spray on your clothes. Oftentimes I mostly spray on my clothes anyway. That's just how I am, and I feel like it lasts longer on your clothes than it does your skin. Anywho, and then I usually have a scented lotion. This works well with the fig coconut lotion from Bath and Body Works. This works well with the follow me for a second. Strawberry soda lotion from Bath and Body Works, the poppy from Bath and Body Works, and oh man, which one was it? I think it was the Moonlight Martini as well. That one gives it a little more of a zingy brightness. So good, so lovely. All right, let's wrap this up. I have 2 more to talk about. This is Replicas on a Date. I said I was gonna buy a full size of this once I finish this, and I stand on this still. Whenever I finish this, I will in fact repurchase this. I love this. I feel like the videos I see on this are not the most positive videos, so you really have to try out fragrances for yourself. This is so nice to me. This is a Lord, the Berlin. Why did I just respray Berlin? Because it's a strong fragrance. That's why it gets, compliments, because people are gonna smell it. This is a fruity, like a grape, bubbly, slightly spicy, sweet. It's almost like it doesn't smell like, but it's within the family of like those sweet rose fragrances. So think like Kayali's Sweet Diamond Pink Pepper, the vanilla rose, the roses vanille. There's something about this that has traces, just traces of like the Gentle Fluidity Gold, excuse me, the one from, what's it called, Zara. Y'all know which one I'm talking about. The one that people say smells very similar to Roses Vanille type energy. That one as well. It falls within that category. It doesn't smell like, but it's that sweet, almost like jammy, delicious rose with a little more razzle dazzle to this. And this is like that bubbly, spiced, grapey feel on top of it. And I absolutely adore this. There's something very girly, womanly, frolicking through a field. There's a bunch of flowers everywhere. You're going to a vineyard, right, with your girls or something, or you're gonna go have brunch. I would wear this without a doubt. It smells so good. There's something about this in the heat that gets a little more jammy, like a little sweeter, and it's like jam that is a slight little bit more watered down. It doesn't smell like, it smells good, but it's not as thick as Kayali's Sweet Diamond Pink Pepper, right? That's a thicker jammy rose, and this is just so lovely to me. I don't really quite have anything that smells like Maison Margiela's On a Date. Things that smell similar, but not quite like it. And something about this also, maybe like the fizziness of it, reminds me of this one right here. I would wear these both on date night. I would wear them both for girls, like if I'm going out with my girls. Paint Me Up by Atelier des Ors. This is a niche fragrance. This, I mean, these are both so lovely, and these are, I wear these interchangeably, excuse me. And they don't smell super similar, but there's something about it that gives that same vibe of super girly, super womanly, dresses, floral prints, like I'm wearing today. Just like those sundresses that cup you here and then flow out. So when you spin, it picks up. You know what I mean? Like, I love that. Oh, actually, something that I've been getting into a lot lately, as I'm slowly been buying like them in different colors, is that like tennis looking skirt vibe, with like the shorts attached underneath it. And I just love that. Like, it also kind of gives that, and like when I twirl, it also like waves in the air or whatever. And something like that is still like, you get to be super girly, but it's also practical, right? Because there's shorts underneath it, and it's super comfortable. You feel comfortable, but you look cute. I don't know. That's just how I am. But yeah, so that's those two. This is actually on my perfume tray for this month. Gentle. Okay. And then the last one is this one right here. This is nothing new. This is Angel Nova by Mugler. This, think along the lines of the better version of Delina. I know everyone loves Delina, and I love that for everyone else, but I've actually smelled Delina on someone, and I did like it. On me, it's too sour. It's too tangy. It's too much in that realm that I don't really get enough of that sweetness, like, at all. Lord, I want to spray this on myself, but my scent of the night is Berlinetta and Kayali's Vanilla Candy Rock Sugar. Actually, I'm going to talk about that one too, because that has garnered me a lot of compliments. Don't spray yourself. Okay, it's fine. This, it has that tang, that juicy, slightly sour feel to it, but there's a sweetness. There's that dewy, fresh, youthful rose that is just so good. And the sweetness in this is of like coats that sourness, so it's lovely. It's like almost like a candy, but it smells like a perfume. Like, I really like Angel Nova. Like, look at this dent. Can you see? Yeah. And I'll just do a quick little chatter about Kayali's Vanilla Candy Rock Sugar. It's not as sweet as I thought it was going to be initially, but the thing about most fragrances, honestly, is you have to give it time to macerate. You know what I mean? So, this smells like, and I feel like I've said this a dozen times, this smells like Musk Noir Rose by Narciso Rodriguez and Jean Paul Gaultier's La Belle came together and gave the best parts of themselves in the best proportions at the dry down. So in the beginning, the bubble gum, it's not as actually as strong as it was before, or maybe I'm just getting used to it. I don't know. But I actually hear a lot of people prefer the opening, like that super bubble gummy opening. I actually don't like it as much. In the dry down is where the magic is, because you get that still that bubble gumminess, but it's more in the background. The muskiness pulls more forward with this absolutely delicious dessert-like pear. The pear in this fragrance is very similar and reminiscent to La Belle, but in a much, like, in a lighter way. So it is super sweet, but there's almost like a wispiness to the, maybe wispy is not a, airy, like there's a fresh sweetness to this. Like, it's sweet, but instead of consuming the entirety of the dessert, you had like a portion of it, or the portion was much smaller. So it just, you got your tooth fixed, but you didn't give yourself a toothache. Does that make sense? Anyway, thank you so much for joining my live. I feel like I've been live like 4 times in the last week and a half, 2 weeks. So don't forget to hit that thumbs up button and like the video. On this channel, I talk about all things looking good, feeling good, and smelling good. So subscribe if any or all of that sounds interesting to you, and hopefully I'll see you in my next one. Bye bye.